Anyone in the housing market will tell you that finding a home at a good price right now is very difficult. You have to make a compromise. If you want a house near your job, prices may be high, so I'm going to sacrifice and I'll extend my travel. But we know the housing market is very difficult. So people have to make certain sacrifices, but they're content with whatever they have as long as they have a roof on top of them. The situation in Jannah is very similar. Very similar to what we call real estate. The Prophet ﷺ, he tells us that in Jannah, there are different locations. And the value of the location you will reside in can either have a high value or have a relatively lower value. And depending on your deeds, you will be allocated a place. In one hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, أَنَا زَعِيمٌ, I take the responsibility to assure you in one of the three highest quality places of living in Jannah. So the Prophet ﷺ, he tells us, everyone's looking to buy a home in Jannah. Everyone's looking to get a place to live in Jannah. And the Prophet ﷺ says, from all of the places, there are three places that are of the highest quality. The first is fi rabadil Jannah. It's in the outskirts of Jannah. You know how some people want to live in the countryside, in a farmland, where it's quiet? The Prophet ﷺ, he says, the first place is rabadul Jannah. It's the outskirts. Then there are certain people who want to live in the city, where it's really lively, where they're able to interact with people. The Prophet ﷺ says, وَفِي وَسَطِ الْجَنَّةِ, somewhere right in the center of Jannah. And there are certain people who want to live on the top, where the view is very beautiful. And the Prophet ﷺ says, وَفِي أَعْلَى الْجَنَّةِ, in the highest rooms or the highest levels of Jannah. So these are the three locations. And the Prophet ﷺ tells us, if you guarantee me three things, for the first thing, I will guarantee you one place in Jannah, the outskirts. What is that? مَنْ تَرَكَ الْمِرَاءَ وَإِنْ كَانَ مُحِقًّا. So, prize number one, the outskirts, goes to the person who is involved in an argument. He's fighting with someone, she's arguing with someone, but says, مَنْ تَرَكَ الْمِرَاءَ, I will leave this argument even if I am right, just to earn the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Me and my coworker were fighting about something. No, I came at this time. He's like, no, you came at this time. Or I didn't park my car here. No, you did park. And there's this argument. In my mind, I know I am right. But I say, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'll take care of it. I'll fix it up. Right? A cup of tea fell. And everybody's blaming each other. And I know I didn't do it. But I say, don't worry about it. It was my mistake, my fault. I'm going to go and clean it up. Nabi ﷺ says, whoever does this, I guarantee them a spot. Za'im means I guarantee. I am responsible for it. You don't have to worry about it. I am responsible that you will have baytan fi rabadil Jannah, a house in the outskirts of Jannah. Then there's the second one, fi wastil Jannah, in the center. Who gets that? Nabi ﷺ says, man taraka al-kadhib wa in kana maziha. The person who doesn't lie, even if they are joking. Sometimes we lie with one another, we joke with one another. I'll come home and I'll say to my spouse, oh yeah, I got a really bad ticket today. And she gets a shock and say, no, I'm just joking. We always have these lighthearted conversations. Nabi ﷺ says, whoever leaves lying, even if it is joking, leaves that lying as well, I guarantee them a house in the center of Jannah. And then the person who gets the skyscraper, all the way on the top where the view, the penthouse where the view is very beautiful, Nabi ﷺ says, مَنْ حَسُنَ خُلُقُهُ فَأَنَا زَعِيمٌ لَهُ بَيْتًا فِي أَعْلَى الْجَنَّةِ. If you refine your character, you interact with people with lovely character and conduct, Nabi ﷺ says, I promise you a room, a place in the highest levels of Jannah. So when we think about, the housing market and how difficult it is, Jannah is very similar. We want to get the best places, and Nabi ﷺ gives us the recipe of how to get the best places. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us homes in all three places of Jannah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to refine our character, avoid lying, and not get into argumentation that is useless. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to practice. Jazakumullahu khairan wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.